Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to the Scrubbingly Hygienic Invitational Tournament. My name is Edstream and I'm joined here with Buzz Thunder. Buzz, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining. Could always use some help in the booth here. So, looks like we're almost ready to get started, so let me cut over to the other scene here.
So, what we have tonight is our, I think all the other matches so far have been done by the upper deck, the people that we care about, and this is the first cesspool match, so honestly, I mean, nobody really cares about this at all. I don't know why we're restreaming it, honestly, but, you know, that's just all part of the tournament.
Well, I mean, we're restreaming it so you can laugh at it later, right?
No, definitely, but honestly, you know, normally we ignore these type of players and stuff like that, but this, I think this is going to be a really good race, a good matchup. I know Cantaloupe has, or FAP, whatever you want to call him, he has better times than Eon, I believe. But again, Eon is no slouch. These guys are pro speedrunners. If they actually stick around in this tournament, these guys are they're gonna come into the top pretty quickly.
Alright, and we've got our race countdown in IRC, so we should be seeing both our runners start pretty soon.
So are we gonna call this race, or you just want to talk about hot dogs and stuff?
I mean, we could do a little bit of both. As far as the hot dogs go, though, what do you like on a hot dog?
Well, I was born and raised in the Chicagoland area, so I like Chicago style personally, which is you know, you got mustard. You're not allowed to have ketchup apparently. A lot of places they won't even give you that. But, honestly, if you're in certain places in Chicago and you ask for ketchup, they'll you know, they yell at you. They don't have. That's like a Chicago thing, but it's just mustard, tomatoes, pickles, celery salt, and sport peppers on there. Good stuff.
Yeah, all that sounds good, and I'm with you on that. No ketchup on hot dogs. I used to be, that was a mistake I used to make, but I have seen the light in my older days.
Yeah, I was the same way growing up. I was a very picky eater, and it was ketchup only for me. But again, now that I'm not, you know, 10 years old, I like to eat things. All right, yeah, I don't know. Well, let's see the action here. They're pretty much tied up, going into whatever this place is, the place where the lipstick doctor hangs out.
Yeah, the spooky mansion. It looks like neither player's going for that wall clip.
Nope. I don't know. I've never even tried it. It's not for me. Have you played this game at all?
I have not. Actually, I think I have, but about 25 years ago, so I don't remember very much of it.
That was about me until a week ago, because we got this. I owned this game when I was younger and used to play it, but then for some reason I completely stopped playing it until suggested it for this tournament. So it's actually a pretty good platform, right? I think it's a quality game.
It's not what I'm hearing from BGT.
Well, I mean, you know, you can't let the difficulty dissuade you from games, because that's where games actually get better. If they're more difficult, then it's more rewarding to you know, all the struggle that you go through, I would say. And both of them take out Dr. Lipstick pretty quickly, and heading on to the World 2 here with Plucky. Everybody's probably going to be using Plucky all the time.
No furball strats until the end.
That's generally how people do it, which makes sense, because Plucky makes it easier. You can just float over everything. So
Yeah, it looks like FAP is slowed up for that safety heart, and is now behind Eon.
Yeah, you gotta. They both stopped and picked up that heart. That's I think that's always worth it because dying is so much more costly than slowing down and picking that up and not having to take a death. So I pick up safety heart every chance I get. As we go into our first water stage.
I mean, what's a good platformer without forced swimming, right?
Yeah, it's a really bad level, probably the worst level in the game. Again, that's usually across the board though for platformers. They have to put in a water level, and it sucks because it just has garbage mechanics. You just kind of float, you go slow. I mean, this one isn't really slow, but it's just kind of boring. I never really liked water levels.
Can you think of a water level that's actually been fun to play in a platformer?
That's a very good question. I'm gonna have to think about that. Oh wow! And tell me if I'm too far ahead, but we did just see Eon get a hug from Elmira there, and that is an automatic. Not just it's an automatic game over. It brings you all the way back to the beginning. So
yeah,
that's a very costly mistake there. But no, I can't think of a good water level. I mean, I don't know. The dam in Ninja Turtles 2 doesn't really bother me that much. Like, well, I mean, not like it did when I was younger, but still, like, you're always floaty and stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that more. So Fab gets a little bit of a huge lead. A little bit of a huge lead with that mistake.
It's like a 300-pound weightlifter named Tiny, right?
Yeah, exactly. But that's what the beauty of this game is. I think that it's gonna... I mean, so far, most of our races that we've had have been pretty much blowouts. Well, actually, I didn't see the ones the other night, but the ones that I did see were, you know, somebody just crushed it, didn't make any mistakes. But we're gonna see a lot of races in this tournament where, you know, there's gonna be a lot of back and forth. Somebody will die a couple times and let them catch back up. So we'll see if we'll see how good Fab here does, if he can keep it up.
Yeah, looking forward to those 40-plus minute cesspool matches.
Yeah, well, even in the yeah, basically that's what we're looking forward to. It's interesting how that works sometimes. Oh, there is a slowdown there by Fab because he ended the level with a multiple of 11. Odd multiple of 11 gives you the Duck Vader bonus stage, and you just got to kill yourself right away.
And Eon manages to dodge Elmira this time.
Yep, gets past Elmira.
Oh, and Fap's rolling out the furball strats for the forest stage.
Yeah, little interesting. That's, again, when I first learned this, I did it this way, but man, Plucky is just so good for this level. You can just float over everything. But furball is good for 3-3. Lets you skip not really a difficult section of that last level, but a more tedious section, I would say. So it saves you a little bit of time. But again, it's kind of like, you know, if you can fly over the entire thing with Plucky in 3-1 and 3-2, I really don't, you know, I think it's probably not a huge difference, I would say. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but I think Herexin said the difference is like 10 seconds or something like that. But again, that's if you do it perfectly. Nobody in this tournament is going to be doing it perfectly, at least for the most part.
Yeah, so probably up to personal preference at this point.
Yeah, basically. I do like furball because in that level, because you can, you know, falling down a pit, you have a little bit of a buffer. You know, you can grab onto the edge and jump out of a hole. With Plucky, you just kind of slowly float down the hole. Yeah, that's such a good point. I'm racking my brain here, and I cannot think of one good water level in any video game.
It's true, even if we open this up to 3D platformers, everybody remembers the Water Temple. No one ever wants to play that again.
Yeah, that one is, well, that one's... I guess the water physics are annoying just because you have to change your boots all the time. But also that one is just kind of a maze.
Alright, down goes the pirate.
Yeah, we'll see if, really at this point we're just hoping for mistakes on Fap's point to give Eon a chance to come back, because you can't really make up any significant ground with this kind of a lead. Because getting caught by Elmira is probably the worst thing that you can do, because it brings you back so far. See, that's what we needed right there. Fap did take damage, almost fell down the hole there to Fido, the boss. That would have been good as far as the time save, but he recovers and gets through.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for furball strats, he would have been down that pit.
Yeah, I mean that happens because you could actually jump on his head as he's falling down the pit. So you kind of can get greedy pretty easily, which I've done with Plucky, and then you just fall down the hole because you missed him. But if you bounce off of him, you know, it looks good and it's fine. And there's the difference right there with Eon as far as seeing how you can float through the top of that level using Plucky. But Fap did go back to Plucky for World 4. Which, again, that was one of the last ones I wanted to switch, because 4-3 is so much easier with Furball. Because it's a vertical level. Any vertical stage, you know, when you can climb the walls, that's the way to go. But I mean, skipping those earlier levels again, kind of it evens out.
Yeah, it seems like he pays off real big in 4-1.
Yeah, and 4-2, you can kind of fly over those entire levels, because 4-1 with Furball, you have to be like on point with all those little short jumps. That area towards the end, that can be really bad. But if you do it right with Plucky, you can just skip the entire thing. Same thing with the boss here too. It's definitely just a safety thing. Easier to avoid the, you know, if the monkeys fall down in the wrong spots, you can just kind of float there and pick and choose which ones you want to stomp on. But I'm getting ahead of the race.
Pretty clean boss fight for Eon, but Fap has a one boss lead almost.
Yeah, that's it's a huge difference. I don't know what the average time is for, you know, World 4 alone to put a value on this lead, but I'm gonna guess it's like at least 90 seconds. It's a big lead. So what we're hoping for is Wacky Land using Plucky's not really tricky, but at the end, you know, you can die a bunch and keep going back to the beginning and stuff like that. A death here to keep it close, but he's playing it very safe. It really is all coming down to that hug from Elvira, not Elmira. Elvira. Oh, wait, which one is it?
I think it's Elmira.
Yeah, not Elvira is the mistress of the dark. If you've ever seen that movie.
Yep.
Trashy female crypt keeper type broad. She has a nice rack too. Oh, am I allowed to say that on your channel?
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know how PG you are. I really, again, this is the first time we've hung out, so.
I mean, I'm usually PG until I start playing randomizers, and then it gets real ugly.
Okay, that's good. As long as this isn't like, you know, I don't really know, fun for kids type streams, which is basically what I do. Fap looking really good here. No big mistakes. No little mistakes even. I don't even think he's died yet if I'm remembering properly.
Yep, and Eon missing a couple of jumps here and right at the wrong spots. That's gonna cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, this is just a really big lead. We need some type of breakdown going on here in Montana Max's mansion, whatever you want to call it. It's so interesting to see runners like this enter this tournament, just because it started off as kind of such a, you know, a small, casual, whatever thing. Like, I don't know if anybody here remembers roller games. But with guys like this, if they get to the top, this is, you know, and other runners like them decide to start joining this type of tournament, this is going to be a legit tournament. I don't know if that was the intention ever, but it's already happening, and who knows if the trend will continue.
Now, oh, there's the first death for Fap.
Yep, that's the first one. That's kind of what, not saying I was rooting against him, but just a way to kind of close the gap.
Yeah, takes a sack to the face.
Yeah, yeah, that's rough in that spot too, and it's fun in that level because it actually doesn't close the screen and let you start over immediately. You actually have to fall off the screen.
Just the long, agonizing fall.
Yeah, if you take it from like one of the last ones at the top, you just like have to watch the whole thing, and it's just like the game just like laughing at you, spitting in your face even more.
Takes it a bit slower, and he's got that safety heart, so things look good from here on out.
Yeah, that death probably costed him the sub 16, but he's gonna go, yeah, as slow as possible. He probably has the other stream up and knows that he has that lead. But Eon was able to close the gap a little bit. And she was a full boss behind, I guess about the same, but getting a little closer, because that last stage, the last two stages are incredibly short in comparison to the rest. Oh geez.
Oh, it takes a coin to the face.
Yep, gotta be careful here on Max. This would be very costly.
That's two.
Looks like he's got it. And he does have it.
That's it. Official SRL time of 16:49.
Not bad. I mean, that's a very solid run. I think that's right around the average. I mean, what we started off with, Link and Coach are just putting up crazy good times. I had a sub 16 in there, but I think that anything that's going to be around your 17-minute mark should be a very competitive race time. And Eon not very far behind. Depending on how good the max fight is, she will probably end up right over 18, which I believe is going to be a PB for her. I'm not really sure.
Looking at the splits here, it's unless this is averages, 19 minutes is the PB. So
yeah, this is going to be a huge PB. Good pattern on Montana Max here.
burn the coin a little too early. But that'll do it.
Yeah, very good time for both runners. It really came out. You see, that's the whole thing. If she didn't get grabbed by Elmira there, it would have been very, very close. Good to see. Again, but yet we have yet to have a race where both players make mistakes. It's always one player doing well, the other one will make a mistake. And then Montana Max, of course, receives its punishment. Prostate exam, which I don't think you're supposed to take until you're 40, but...
Well, it's never too early, right? Better safe than sorry.
I think so, yeah, but yeah. One of the better ending screens, at least in this and Yume Penguin, we had some really good end game screens for sure.
Alright, so we'll see if we can get the runners in for a quick interview.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we talked too much about the race, but that's all right. Not a big deal. I didn't have a lot of stuff prepared.
Hello.
Hello, hello. GG.
Welcome, Eon.
Thanks. Maybe just G.
G. So was that a PB or?
That was a PB, although I've had runs on sub-16 pace die in Monty's Mansion, so...
Well, that really wasn't your problem there. Monty's Mansion was solid.
Yeah, I practiced that a lot today, actually, so... no, it was that Elmira in, was that 2-2? That really set me back.
Ooh. Elmira bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Nice game, Fap. You
GG.
did well there. Didn't really make many mistakes until the money bag. I think that was your only death, wasn't it?
No, I had 2 deaths. I died early in, I think it was, I want to say 2-1, I think, or 2-2. No, it wasn't swimming stage. It was, yeah, 2-1 I died in. So I had a death in 2-1 and a death in max.
Yeah, but not nearly as costly as the Elvira, which is what I keep saying Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. You guys ever seen that?
Yeah, Cassandra Peterson, yes, and she's actually retiring from that role at the end of the year.
Oh wow, I didn't even know she was still doing it.
Oh yes.
So was that like a? I mean, where I grew up, it was like Sven Gulli was this guy who like did a late night show and would play like old movies. She seems like the type of person who would do that kind of stuff.
She
also.
did. Yeah, she did a lot of stuff like that, and then of course the Halloween stuff, and hosting burlesque parties and such. I only know a lot about this because my ex-girlfriend's sister is a big fan of hers, so I heard a lot of stuff.
Man, that's interesting. Yeah, because they used to play that movie. She had a few movies. They would play them on Comedy Central. Again, that was back when I was in high school, and Comedy Central would play a lot of those B movies during the day. I don't even know what they play anymore, but I used to see a lot of stuff like that at that time.
Back before that time, we had USA Network with Up All Night, and that's where some of her movies and other B movies would play. But that was way back in the day. Gilbert Gottfried hosted that, and somebody else did. I don't remember her name, but yes, that's telling my age big time right there.
I mean, I remember that too. So what does that say about me?
We're in the same boat, Eon.
Yeah, and I figure everybody is. It just seems like the Twitch community, people who are into Zelda and stuff like that. It's all like, anywhere between 30 to, late 20s at the earliest, early 40s at the latest. Kind of is what it seems.
Oh, late 20s. I'd love to be there again.
That would be nice. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, this nice little fun game. It's once you understand the mechanics, it's actually not that bad. It's the slide, the jump, just don't really there's so much to think about in so little time.
Yeah, very very tricky. But again, I think it's I've been standing by it the whole time. Everybody complains it's hard, whatever, but I think it's a good game.
Every game's hard until you learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's challenging, but I've never been one to shy away from a difficult game. So
exactly, Grandmaster. So since I beat you in this, does that mean you're going to make me play Tetris one-handed against you at HEDQ again?
Only if you want to.
I'll still play it. Fun fact for those who don't know: last year at HEDQ, she brought the TGM board, and I tried to outplay somebody. Now before this, we had a Zelda 2 match, and I ended up winning that. Well. She's like, well, I'll play. I'm like, okay, I knew I was going to get beat, but then she adds insult to injury and goes, which hand?
Oh yeah, that's nice.
It was funny. I had a good time with it. And TGM's a very interesting thing. I'd like to find a way to do more with it. It's fun.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very deep game that doesn't seem like it would be. So.
True. But yeah, definitely.
Well,
thanks for the stuff.
Wait, just one more post game here. We were talking. Could you guys give me? You get a hot dog, right? And you can have anything you want on it. What are you going to put on your hot dog?
Well, I'll go and answer that since I know Eon is a vegan, so I know that's irrelevant.
Maybe a tofu dog. I don't really know if those exist.
They make some good vegan hot dogs. I'll let you know. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you go ahead and go first then.
All right. Well, I like onions and a good sauerkraut and a nice strong mustard.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's like the that's like closer to the German style.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Now, being from West Virginia, we do hot dogs a little weird here because compared to everybody else, yes, we put coleslaw on it and we put chili on it, not sauce. We put chili, but yes, everything that's no ketchup. Ketchup does not go near a hot dog. So we got mustard, we got chili, we got onions, we got slaw, and then even put some jalapeno peppers actually on the side too for a nice little kick.
Now that just sounds like a coney dog kind of, except you're adding the coleslaw to it, which kind of just like balances out the spiciness of the jalapeno and the chili, maybe.
Yeah, there's a place here in Lesage, West Virginia. It's called Hillbilly Hot Dogs. It was featured on Diners, Drives, and Dine-Ins, and they have a hot dog called the Home Wrecker, and it's about a 3-pound hot dog, and it's got all that I said. It's got a sneaky habanero sauce underneath. I don't recommend it if you don't like spicy stuff, but nacho cheese, lettuce, tomato. The thing's massive. And on the way home, I gave it a new name. It was no longer called the Home Wrecker. I decided to call it the Whole Wrecker for a whole other reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say that could definitely happen for sure.
Yeah, but no, look at that website, Hillbilly Hot Dogs. You can probably find it online. They got such great stuff. I'm not plugging them. I'm just saying they're pretty damn good.
That sounds good. You should. I will submit this to them for a sponsorship. Maybe you'll get a free hot dog or two.
Yeah. Well, if any of you guys ever come to West Virginia, let me know. I'll take you all there. Which you have no reason to come to West Virginia because I wouldn't come here if I didn't live here. But anyway.
Yeah, I've only driven through the little part that pokes up between Ohio and Pennsylvania, driving when my brother used to live out in Pennsylvania.
Well, that's enough to see of it. Have you seen that? You've seen it all.
I think that's the exact same stretch that I drew when I drove from Chicago to Philadelphia, and I went through it. Or no, that was way back home. It was from Virginia back to Chicago. Cut through West Virginia a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do there, and then she was cutting up through Wheeling and around up that area and go through, and it's better than taking the whole entire Pennsylvania Turnpike through Pennsylvania because boy, that's expensive.
Yeah, I remember when I did it. That was at least 10 years ago, and it was like $15 or something just to get on. Yeah. So I don't remember if there's anything more to it.
I drove the entire length of it because I was a dumbass, and it ended up costing me $28.
Oh wow!
Coming back from Atlantic City. Yep. But anyway, I'm going to hop off here. But thanks for doing the restream, and definitely a fun race and all that good stuff. Thank you. You too. It's always good. Thanks. It's always good to race, and I will see you in January, Eon.
Yeah, see you at AGDQ.
Sounds good. And are you guys going to AGDQ also?
I am not.
Ah, bummer.
Nope.
Yeah, I know. If they keep the summer one in Minnesota, I'll probably go to that one every year. But unless I'm running, it's going to be hard for me to get out to the East Coast.
Right.
Yeah, I already booked my tickets for MagFest, so that's one or the other. I can't really do a whole 2 weeks of gaming.
True. Well, you can at least pop up to the hotel and say hi to everybody.
Suppose I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You don't need a ticket to go in the hotel, just in the areas. But anyway, I'm going to hop out and try to do my thing on my end. But thank you for taking time to do the restream. And once again, Neon, GG.
Yeah, GG to you. Thanks again for the restream as well. So.
Yeah, GG to you both. And thanks for hopping on short notice, Buzz. Appreciate that as well.
All right, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Alright, that about wraps things up here. We should have one more game this evening. It's still yet to be determined where that's going to be restreamed, but as soon as we know, get that information out in the Discord. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.